Hello everyone. Today I want to go through differences between Garmin Tactix Delta and Fénix 6X Pro. Why we're comparing these two devices really is that they are very similar underneath, but have few key differences in between. So if you're choosing between these two, you might have a question why one is better than another. And really, we have just a few significant differences between these two. First is look and feel. You can see that from another side. Oh yeah, and let's ignore the band because this is Enduro style band which we can buy additionally. Originally you get same exact band as you get in Tactix Delta. So yeah, first main difference is the look of the bezel. You can see it's quite a bit different. It's more edgy and pointy, and it really looks, in my opinion, better than Fénix. But while I was wearing it during that period, I felt this being not very comfortable underneath the clothes, and when you actually take them off, take off a jacket or something, you very often get stuck. And this is seems like more refined, and actually it's more comfortable to wear, which sounds unexpected to myself. Another difference is really the materials of the watches itself. This specific one is a titanium version. Usually it would be a steel, and weight is steel version would be very similar. Titanium is just a little bit lighter, but if we look into description over here, you have military spec, thermal shock resistant, and sapphire glass. You can actually get Fénix with sapphire glass as well. The specific one is solar version, so you don't get solar and sapphire, because sapphire is a crystal and it reflects and absorbs lots of sun. So you have to choose between solar and sapphire, and you can see sapphire is slightly more reflective if you look at it at that particular angles. I would say sapphire is a cool option, but and solar is also a cool option, but really you have to be aware that solar is not something that will replace the charging. It will only add some additional charge during the day if you are outside. So for instance, if I would not use any exercise modes and I would be outside, I would lose about 1-2% of a charge during 10 hours. And if I would be inside in a similar style of movement and usage, I would run like 5% of charge. So you get some additional power if you're outside, but it will not replace the charging. So you have to have that in mind. And I think officially the Garmin states, but I don't quote me on that, around 20-30% of additional charge in ideal conditions. So just to have that in mind when you're choosing between sapphire and solar. Obviously sapphire is better resistant for scratches, so you can see this Tactix model is quite beaten up. It seems it had seen better days, but if you look at the glass, it has no scratches whatsoever. So it seems that sapphire is really good, and you can see it's recessed a bit. This one also recessed, but that also helps to avoid scratches. And one feature which I really liked was the stealth mode. And stealth mode is not something that you would you would think it is originally, because it does not disable GPS, but it stops logging. So for instance, if you enable stealth mode, Bluetooth will be disabled, but GPS will run when you enable some exercise mode, which has a GPS setup. It will enable GPS to track your distance walked or ran or covered, and it will precisely log the amount, the distance you walked, but will not display any GPS data. So for instance, if you actually syncing your activities to Strava and you're enabled stealth mode, you will see activity, you will see the amount of distance covered, but you will not see the map, so it will be hidden. If you would disable GPS completely, there will be inaccuracy in the distance, but here it's quite a cool feature. And yeah, and next video we'll be covering similarities of these watches, because basically underneath of this cool looking and cool materials Tactix Delta, there is a 6X Pro, Fenix 6X Pro underneath, because it also have a maps, it has a music features, it has other features which you get in Pro, also have in Tactix Delta. I was really fascinated by the fitness tracking and depth of details and advices both watches are giving. So the next video will be actually covering all the features which I was fascinated by on both of these watches, and there will be same experience in terms of fitness tracking on both, which I will be covering in next video.